The first day of Summer Games Fest was yesterday, and I myself am super excited about what was revealed. I'm going to share with you the 10 games that I found the most interesting and most exciting. This list is by no means exhaustive, and I do not hold the authority over what you yourself consider interesting. That being said, if you have something that you're really excited or really looking forward to that came up during Summer Games Fest and you want to tell me about it, drop a comment. I like hearing other people's opinions. I decided to go in order of appearance, so these are not ranked 1 to 10, 10 to 1, nothing like that. So we're going to start off with the first one, Chronicles Medieval. This sandbox-style action RPG strategy game really has some potential if it's done right. When I became a newly minted adult and I finally had adult money and I could buy video games, one of the first games that I purchased was actually Dynasty Warriors 5, and I played the heck out of that game. I was always disappointed that I just couldn't do more. Reading the description of the game on Steam, it looks like you start at the bottom being armed with nothing but grit and will. You're going to earn your name in skirmishes, field battles, and sieges where every fight is a step towards power. Build your castles and then hold them against those who would tear them down. It's an immersive sandbox that takes place in, as its name suggests, medieval Europe. This game doesn't have a release date yet. It just says that it's going to be coming into early access soon. I'm going to guess that soon for them means sometime in 2026. Buying a game that's in early access can always be a hit or miss thing, because a lot of the times the problems that might be in the game, maybe the devs themselves just don't have the capacity to fix it. Maybe they don't have enough people, maybe they don't have the budget, or maybe they just don't care. Regardless, it's in my wish list and I will definitely be purchasing it. Next up is Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Besides the fact that this game just looks like it's a ton of fun, I'm really excited about the aspect of the cross-platform online multiplayer aspect. To me, these kind of racing games are the best when you can play them with friends and when you can be super competitive with your friends, but if your friend group is anything like mine, everybody's on different platforms. Now, Takashi Iizuka said that it would be cross-platform matchmaking, so I'm gonna be a little sad, a little bummed if this turns out that it just applies to randomized matchmaking and not being able to cross-platform play with your friends. But still looks fun regardless, so I'm still gonna buy it. And up next, I've got Mouse PI for Hire. Now, this game looks so ridiculous, but I love it. The more ridiculous something looks, the more I want it. I don't know what that means about my personality, but there's something about this cartoon art style, this sort of old Mickey Mouse look to it, the Steamboat Willie. I don't know. I just want to play it. You're going to play as private investigator Jack Pepper, who was once a war hero and now a detective in a world where danger lurks in the smallest mousehole. This is a gritty noir FPS type game, and like I said, it's just unique. That's all I got. Unique. Steamboat Willie style gritty noir adventure is not something that I would have put together in my head, but now that I've seen it, now I'm gonna play it. Playside Studios is gonna be bringing us an RTS based on the popular franchise Game of Thrones. By and large, I do not think that RTS games or real-time strategy games get the love, praise, and attention that they greatly deserve. By taking such a recognizable franchise like the Game of Thrones series, like taking these characters that people know and they recognize and they're familiar with, and then wrapping that up in an RTS game, I think the developers are doing a good job, and they're going to pull in people who might not have otherwise wanted to play an RTS or might have never bothered trying an RTS before, and I think that's a great way to expand the audience. I wish that the Steam page had a little bit more to give us. I do see that it says that it intends to be a classic RTS, so maybe it's just that they expect us to already know what it looks like, but I do feel like if you're going to be trying to market to people who haven't played an RTS, and I do think you should market to people who have yet to play an RTS, I think you should include some gameplay at least, and not just a cinematic trailer. I don't know, maybe I'm asking for too much because it doesn't have a release date yet, so I don't know, drop a comment and be like, yeah, you're being ridiculous, you're being greedy, you're asking for way too much. This next one in my list, I'm not quite as excited as I'm just more like, I'm tepid on this, I'm lukewarm, but I felt obligated to include it because I am an MMO girly. It is Cube, or The Cube, Atomic Universe. Now, why am I including it if I am very tepid on this subject? And that's because I've played enough MMOs to know that a lot of them fall into pump and dump schemes. And the ones that don't feel that way and do have some sort of longevity either lack soul or they just don't feel good to play. Like, I know it's kind of saying the same thing, but Regardless, if you play enough MMOs, you know what I mean. Final Fantasy XIV has a garbage combat system. I hate fighting in that game. I don't like any of the classes. I stick with Arcanist just because it's easy. I don't enjoy the combat in that game at all, but I have put well over 1,000 hours into that game because it meets every other requirement to keep me coming back. As for the Cube Atomic Universe, I have no idea what to expect from it except for the fact that it looks fast-paced and it looks like to be an FPS style of combat. The cinematics are compelling and it looks really good. However, I'm going to protect my feelings. I'm not going to have my hopes high for this because it doesn't even have a release date yet. All I can say is that it looks good so far, and it's piqued my curiosity. Next, we got a game from Square Enix, which is a studio that can be hit, it can be missed sometimes. We'll be honest. They've got a new game coming out called Killer N, and Killer N is this game that looks really fascinating. It is almost like combining Clue, Dead by Daylight, and Among Us, like all together. It seems to be a deduction-based game where you play in two teams. You're either on the wolf team or you're on the lamb team. So lambs need to root out the wolves, or the wolves need to slaughter all of the lambs. Right now you can request access to the closed beta on Steam, but other than that it does not have a release date yet. It just says to be announced. And here I am getting suckered into another MMO. Chrono Odyssey is powered by Unreal Engine 5 and it promises to be a vast and intricately designed seamless open world. That sounds a lot like how Throne and Liberty plays. One thing that I really enjoy about Throne and Liberty is not just the graphics, but the fact that there isn't any loading time. You move from area to area just like you would in an open world game. You don't need to stop and have load screens, or everything is just very seamless. This one has a playtest that's going to be open from June 20th to June 22nd, and I will definitely be doing my best to participate in that. I know it's really hard to judge combat just based on these types of previews that they put out, but it looks awesome. Can't wait to try it. Next is Wuchang Fallen Feathers, and that comes out on July 23rd. Now, I didn't even need to read the description to know that it was a Souls-like, because, I mean, come on, take a look at this preview. It looks like a Souls-like. Am I mad about it? Hell no. When something works, it works. Ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't know much about Chinese history or Chinese mythology, but from what I have read, the game is inspired by or takes place during the Ming Dynasty era in the land of Shu. However, it would, diverge considering the fact that it has more supernatural elements in it. It didn't take much to sell me on this game, and I will definitely be pre-ordering it so that way I can get those extra skins. If your birth year starts with a 19, you are probably going to be interested in this game whether it's your playstyle or not. WuTang Rise of the Deceiver is a co-op action RPG style fighting game with an Afro-surrealistic aesthetic. Jesus, I got through it in one breath. We'll be here all day if I try to read this entire description, so I'm going to put it on the screen and you can pause if you'd like to read it, but it does say that it fully supports a 3-player co-op with a social hub in Shaolin. Art style looks amazing. I can't wait to play it. I wish they would come out with a release date already. This is the final game on my list, and it's not because any of the other games were bad, it's just because that I didn't want to have a 20-minute video. Coming from RGG, this is Stranger Than Heaven, and if you like Yakuza, you're probably gonna like this. I like this 1940s dark detective vibe that we got over here. There is no release date currently. There's also no confirmation of which platforms are going to be receiving it, or if all platforms are going to be receiving it. For time's sake, I will be cutting down the trailer, but I encourage you to go watch it if you haven't seen it yet. The gaming industry took quite the hit post-COVID, and I'm really happy to see it start bouncing back. If you want to help out a little small fry like me, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons, and comment down below. Did you like the showcase? You hate the showcase? Anything that you're looking forward to? Stuff you just really were like, didn't really care about? Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.